All right. Bienvenidos and welcome. I am Leonardo Torres.
I'm Erika Ayala.
And together we are Leonardo. You already know who's in the house. I had to have a little pep talk with Mustachio. He didn't want to join us today. He was like, hey, I don't know if I could do this, man. You just go ahead and start without me. I came in late into the show. I'm like, no, you're a part of this now. And
he was almost gonna make us late to our own party. I was like, Mustachio.
Sorry, but can we just take a second to really like appreciate what's going on here with Mustachio? Like check this out. Like he's like, all right.
Just kidding.
I mean, come on, appreciate it. So anyway, we are super excited to have you here with us to celebrate this the 1 year anniversary of this channel.
Yes.
1 year ago exactly, I came on here and poured my heart out, and I was so nervous on that first video. I did not know what I was doing. And if you watch that video, you'll think like, wow, Leo just came a really long way. We were watching it last night, and it was wild. I watched it
a couple times actually.
It was so wild to see how far I've come now. And I see Pastor Chad's in the house. Welcome, Pastor Chad. Welcome. We have, let's see, Zoe Porter, Brad Ford. Yes. We have Nani.
Hashitos.
David Wellman. Hashitos is in the house?
Yeah,
Hashitos in the house. Oh, that's our good friend. JM.tx is a good friend, Jose from Texas, who has just a very special place in you all have a very special place on the channel.
Yes,
but Jose particularly saved our dog.
He did.
And we are forever grateful, even though he's being a little punk right now. And
he's like a puppy, but a teenager.
He's a teenager. He's trying to bite Erika. He's just, he's just trying to tear everything apart. Myra's in the house too. But my account is messed up. Oh, okay. Hi, Myra.
Hi, Rusty.
Oh, what?
Rusty.
Rusty's in the house. Oh, we got Rusty. We got Jeff Davenport, my good friend from Arizona. Pastor Chad, who was the very first person to have me on his channel. Pastor, thank you. He says, call me Chad. It's just Chad. And I'm like, no, you're forever be Pastor Chad.
I know. It feels weird to say Chad.
We had Eric Davis in the house. We have Mama Bear in the house. We got Matt Beebe in the house as well. Jonathan Hicks, welcome. A lot of new people. Linda in the house. She's not new on here. She's been with us for a really long time. She's an OG gangsta in the house. My fellow metalhead too.
Angela calls her Finnish. Her Finnish? How do you say
Finnish? Finnish?
Yeah, metalhead friend.
Her Finnish metalhead friend.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We have Marilyn Cropper in the house. Kenny with his bets in the house. Yes. Brittany Culp in the house. Brenda D in the house too. We got Brenda D. Brenda Martinez, who's also been here since the initiation of La Familia. Crystal Sumter, welcome everybody. Welcome. I have a slideshow here, but I forgot to set it up real quick. So let me just bring that up real
You're here for
quick.
It all, so it's okay.
Yeah. Familia, how are we doing? How are we doing, Familia? Everything good? Where you all at? Let us know where you're joining us from. What part of the world are you joining us from on this beautiful Monday? It's afternoon for us, so we're just stick to our time. Roxana in the house too. So let us know where you're joining us from. I already know we got people from Texas. We have people from Germany, from Scotland. We got people from the UK. We've got Canada. Yes, Canada.
Australia.
Some from Canada. We got Australia, Indianapolis in the house. We have Yorkshire, England in the house. Jackie in the house. Welcome. Sierra Vista, Arizona. Shout out to San Fernando Valley. Tokyo, Japan. I think our only friend from Japan, probably quite possibly. Rusty, we hope that you find yourself well.
Yeah.
NorCal, in the house. We have, thank you, Debbie Santos. Thank you so much. We have Tennessee in the house. Tennessee in the house. We got Aussies in the house. We got Denmark in the house. We got Central Cali in the house. We're in South Carolina. Wow. South California. We are in South California, not Carolina. What in the world am I thinking of? All right. I'm just excited. I'm really excited because this channel took a journey that was completely unexpected for us. And we are really excited to have you all be a part of this wonderful journey that we took on here, right? The Dominican Republic in the house too. San Diego just moved to Riverside. Oh, you're from San Diego, just moved to Riverside. Oh, all right, awesome, Jose. So we're in Riverside County too. So that we're practically neighbors. Excellent. So familia, first things first, I want to first get started with, oops, I can't do that because that covers your face. All right, cool. So that covers Eddie's face, so we can't do that. I think that was Mustachio, behave yourself.
I know, he's getting jealous, I think.
Yeah, I don't blame him. So familia, so keep yours on the chat too for me, okay? So we're celebrating today our 1-year anniversary. We're having a virtual party. And if you brought something to the party, let us know what you brought. I know that Roxana said she was bringing pancakes. I brought the tacos. What did you all bring? Let us know. Let us know in the house. We have, let's see. Okay, so first things first. First things first. We're going to start off with our very famous dad jokes. All right. And the very first dad joke that we got going, I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm going to come back to it, give you the answer. So how do you get a country girl's attention? How do you get a country girl's attention? I will answer that for you if you don't answer it in the live chat already, but I'll answer that for you in just a bit. We want to start off with a quote of the day, and that quote of the day has been a quote that has just echoed throughout our channel from the very beginning, and that is, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great unsearchable things you do not know. That's Jeremiah 33:3. If I can get a 333 in the live chat, let us know, familia. If we can get a 333 in the oh, Nani says you say hey. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's get a 333 in the live chat. 333. And the very first thing we want to start off with, as is tradition now, familia, is a quick shout out and a thank you to the Great Spirit. And I personally, I wrote this last night, but this is on behalf of all of us, and we would like to thank you for making the call out to me and for leading me on this journey. Thank you for the love that you have shared and for the endless blessings that you have given us through the channel for the last year. We ask that you continue to heal everyone who follows these videos, heal them from their mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual suffering. Great Father, we pray that your message of love come through today and for years to come as we come together in your name. Can I get an amen on the live chat, familia, please? And then moving here on to the next phase of our slideshow, our wonderful slideshow here, is we'd like to thank our channel sponsors. For those of you who have clicked on the join button in the right below our screen here, there's a join button. You can become members and help support this channel for as little as a taco, for the cost of a taco a month. And so these are our wonderful sponsors here. Forgive me if you I completely forgot. I meant to do this, but also we have some wonderful people supporting us on Patreon, and I'm grateful for that. I will definitely add that slideshow on our next live. Because your help on Patreon has been big too. And then we have people who have donated directly to the channel, and we're grateful for that as well. So thank you so much. All right, so here's the dad joke. You ready? How do you get a country girl's attention? A tractor. A tractor. Oh my Come on. I need what Ruslan has, and get myself like one of those soundboards and just keep on doing like sounds. I'd have a on there. Awesome. So Leah has a dad joke. Let's see. I just saw it. Where is it? What is the difference between a city and a country cat? City cat says meow. Country cat meow. Oh, I need that explained. I need that explained. I'm sorry. Maybe it's how you pronounce it. Meow. Maybe. Or so, I don't know. Let's see. Who else is on here? Let's give some more shout outs to Christy Siggers. We have Ben Jones in the house. Who else we have here? Jackie, Melissa Home. Welcome. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the love and support. We got Eric Bjorklund in the house. Welcome. We have Denisha Brudell in the house as well. Okay, cool. So we're gonna open it up now to questions. So if you have a questions, you want to think about it. Actually, no. Before we do that, we're gonna do what we did before when we used to do the live blocked channels. I mean the blocked parties.
Okay.
And that is, if there's someone right now, familia, that you would like to offer a prayer to, feel free to mention their name on the live chat, and everyone else, as you see their names pop up, if you can please offer a prayer to them, that would be wonderful. So just go ahead and place their names right now. Who needs prayer in your life let us know. And then for the rest of us, we will definitely offer prayer and keep that person in our prayers. It doesn't have to be a person; it could be a city. If you have a city or a family that you have in mind, please mention them now.
Welcome,
James Brown Jr. Thank you.
Woo!
Welcome. I feel good about a little James Brown joke there. Thank you so much for becoming for joining us and becoming a member. We also like to invite you over to our free group, our free prayer group on Discord. It's available on desktop and Apple, Android devices. You just download the app and join us for prayer. You can request prayer. You can offer prayer. We have things to help with, like resources to help you become stronger mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We have quotes of the day. We have a lot of great stuff happening there. So you feel free to join us. We would love to have you there. So if you have any questions, you can pop them up now. In the meantime, while you gather your questions, I'm just going to talk to you briefly about some of the lessons that I learned on this channel while I've been on this journey. It's been really interesting. As you all know, I am not the same person I was a year ago. I may be wearing the same shirt from that Oceans video, but I'm definitely not the same person. The person you see before you is a completely different person, and I love it.
It's like you're wearing completely the same thing, because you even have a mustache a little bit in that one. This too, the hat.
Yeah. I had a little bit of a mustache. That's right.
A little bit.
That's right. Okay, cool. So the first lesson that I've learned was that God is the first cause. Everything, and I mean everything, is Him in effect. I've learned to see that He is just unfolding in my life and in all of your lives, unfolding, and everything is Him in effect. Even the things that I consider to be bad is just Him unfolding and moving us towards something good, because He is good, and as Ruslan pointed out, His ways are good, and they're always meant to move us towards something positive and something good. The next thing is that God and I are in the greatest game of hide and seek of all time. Like, it's the greatest game of hide and seek that has ever been played. I see God in everything and everyone, and it just thank you, Pastor Chad, for becoming a member. Love it, appreciate that so much. And I see Him everywhere. And in fact, when I have my sights on something and little things happen where they, like, little signs present themselves, I always go, I see you, God. Like, I was just like, I'm pointing them out every single place I go. If I'm tested by some crazy driver, I say, I see you, God. Like, I see you working on my patience. If I see if I see someone who is grateful, or I see somebody opening up the door, I say, I see you, God, teaching me to be loving and kind and all that good stuff, right? And everything else. So He and I are in the greatest game of hide and seek. He hides in everything and everyone, and I find Him almost everywhere. The next thing I learned is that the promises of God are 100% real. If you knock, the door will be open. If you ask, you shall receive. I'm not going to get into the bit of how I personally see how you ask in this episode or in this live, but how you ask is really, really important. Very, very important. The next thing is, you cannot please everyone. As you all know, time and time again, you all are wonderful at leaving great comments, but this channel definitely isn't for everyone. Some people see only the negative or see what they want to see, and that's completely fine. You can't please everyone. The next one is trust only in God. If I really trusted these people, and by these people, I don't mean these people. What I mean, if I trusted people's negativity, I would not be on this channel. I wouldn't have made it a whole year here with you all, because I've learned that every single time I had something negative on the channel, it would affect me, and I would want to just quit and walk away, and something else would just pull me back into the channel. Something positive would pull me right back into the channel. Mama Bear, thank you so much. Besitos and abrazos, baby osos, baby bears. Thank you, Mama Bears, the loving Mama Bear. The next one that I've learned is that in the first video that I made, I said that I wasn't religious, and a lot of people said, oh, it's not about religion, it's about relationship. And I feel like a lot of people were just repeating that. I wasn't, or maybe they did mean it, but I wasn't clear on what that meant exactly. And so I've learned that it certainly is not about religion. It is about relationship. It really, really is. And it's no one's business to tell you what your relationship is to God. Like, for example, Noah's relationship with God was a lot different than it was with Moses, and it was a lot different than it was with all the other characters like King Solomon and all the other. I'm an amateur still, so I'm not going to be able to mention a lot of them by name on this life. But every relationship was different, and it was definitely unique. And so is yours, familia. Okay. So is yours. The next one is that love is the greatest of all rituals. Of everything that you practice, familia, you can practice everything that is instructed in the Bible, word for word, and you can know it, from end to end, from beginning to ending, and could quote, the scripture by page, by number, and have it all memorized. But if love is not a part of your ritual, if love is not a part of your practice, of your daily practice, then you need to start over. You need to start from day one. You need to begin all the way from the very beginning and look at it again. Because if you do not extract that you are to love from the book, then you're looking at it wrong, or you're being taught wrong. Who knows? The next one is, if you don't have love, then you don't have God. Why? Can somebody tell me why? Why is that important? If you don't have love, you don't have God. Why? Please tell me. Somebody tell me.
Roxana wants to know, how many cups of coffee did you drink today?
Oh, it's just been the one. It's just been. It hasn't been. I'm just excited. I'm just on fire right now, and we know what fire I'm on right now. Jeremiah 3:3, the Tower of Torres, right here. There is another. Awesome. So many awesome songs. So many awesome songs.
Kenny's favorite song.
Yeah, Kenny. So if you don't have love, you don't have God. Why? Yes, because God is love. God is love. God is love. And if you don't have it, if in your daily actions, if in your words, if every single day you're not doing something with love, then you're not doing it with God. That's the best way that you can discover if someone is approaching you with love, is how they approach you. Or if somebody is with God, that's how you know if somebody is with God, if they approach you with love. The next lesson, very important, is converting is not enough. Converting is not enough. You must be absolutely transformed. It's not enough to, like I said yesterday, just to put on a badge and say, hey, everybody, I'm Christian. It's not enough to say that you've converted and you've been baptized and you've been, you've confessed with your mouth and all the other stuff that a lot of people place, strict rules on, that if you haven't done these things, you're not Christian. I go a little bit farther and say that if you have not yet been transformed, then you are not a follower of Christ, because Christ is supposed to replace you. He's supposed to overflow your cup, and he is supposed to replace you, familia. Come on now. Let's go. When he calls, the next lesson is, when he calls, answer the call. And what's God's phone number? What's God's number? Can somebody let me know? Oh, sorry. I forgot to switch back. I was so excited. I forgot to switch back. Oh, come on. My keyboard is not. Maybe God's telling me to slow down. If you don't know, converting is not enough. You must be transformed. When he calls, answer the call. For me, he uses a very specific number. Now he says 911. Now for me, God uses 333. And we went to the market yesterday, and almost every single place we went, it was such a trip to see how many times I saw either 33 or 333. And we went to that store, to the store that I talk about all the time. They still have. Let me see. Let me switch. Let me switch screens over here. They had this sign here. 2 bottles of that. No, we're not sponsored by the Lakers, by the way. 2 for $333, right? And then the address of the place is 333. So thank you, Van. Thank you for that. And but he calls in many different ways. For some of you, maybe different signs. For some of you, he may speak to you directly. He may show you things specifically. I'm not closed off to these things, to the gifts that we receive. See, when God calls Jose, he calls him at 867-5309. They're just, some people just have, God just has some of you, your direct calls, your direct line. Man, Jose, hilarious, man. I appreciate your energy on here so much. At the Arsenal. So many wonderful relationships have been formed from this on this channel, and I'm really grateful for it all. So this channel, if I may just briefly get into how it started. Actually, let's go into questions first, and then I'll go into that. So did you see any questions worth pointing out?
Yes, give me. I can't pin anything. It doesn't let me pin. So that's the kind of the hard part. Brad Ford had a good question. He
Okay.
wants, but I don't want to like paraphrase because I think it was along the lines of, do you have a favorite lyric or quote that's stuck by you on your journey? Something like that.
Oh, the story?
Mhm.
I surrender. I repeat it every single time. So the one of the quotes is I surrender. The next one is, well, Spirit lead me.
I hope I'm correct. Sorry, Brad Ford. I was trying to get back to your thing. Let's see. Oh yeah.
He calls me by pulling my ear like my grandma used to.
Here's
Nice.
another good question.
Yeah.
From Brittany Culp. What have you learned about vulnerability?
That it's 100% okay. Vulnerability. In the very first video that I cried on, I almost shut the camera off. I almost turned it off. And I looked at the camera and I remember thinking, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't cry on camera. Like, that's weird. Like, that's super weird. And then I said, no, like, this is what's happening. This is 100% real and raw. So just let it go. Let it be what it is. And I did. And I think it allowed, I think one of the biggest things that I learned, Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you both. It's been such a great journey this past year. Thank you. One of the things that I learned from that was that it also gave a lot of people permission to be vulnerable with either myself or with their partners, or, you know, because I've received messages from people who thanked me for it. It's weird at first, to be honest, but it allowed them to be more open and to be more real and raw with what they were, you know, with what they were living, either spiritually or personal on their personal journeys.
You want another one, or you want to wait?
No, let's do another one.
Okay, so Melissa, is it Melissa Home or Home?
Hum.
Sorry. How do you see the channel grow? What?
Go ahead. No.
Sorry. How do you see the channel growing, changing, and what Jesus is guiding you in the next chapter?
Okay, so as you may all know, I dropped the non-Christian title, and I now started a podcast. I realized that my journey as an atheist led me to understand myself a lot more. I looked into other cultures and other religions and studied, not purposely, I studied what they were. When are we chatting again? Not purposely. I didn't do it with this intention, but it taught me how people pray, worship, and how they see God. And my intention was to prove that they were ridiculous for believing in God. But I learned a lot more than that. And so I think, in a weird way, God brought me right back around and circled me, like took me down that road so I can come right back around and be able to talk about certain things that I think are lacking in the Christian community. Because for me, I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, Christianity is losing the religious competition, if you will. I don't want to call it a war. It's losing people. It's losing a lot of good people, and a lot of people are leaving Christianity or turning away from Christ because of the weapons, if you will, the tools that Christianity is using. Because we Christianity, I think, has one of the greatest tools or weapons, if you want to call it that, has one of the greatest weapons that exists, while the enemy, if you want to call it that, I hate to use that like military lingo, but I feel like I have to. Other religions, when the enemy is using darkness and deception and anger or sarcasm or cynicism, you do not want to use the enemy's weapons. You're now using dark weapons, if you will. And the greatest weapon that's available to you is love. And I think I think because we do not use love, or we don't know how to use love to pull people in, we're losing people. We're definitely losing people. And so now, with the podcast that has now just begun, I want to have guests like Pastor Chad, like Pastor Mike, like Rusalon, like I have one of Erika's friends who's a therapist coming on soon. And so we're gonna dive deep into why we think the way we think, why we behave the way we behave, what makes us be, what can make us stronger mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and just bring in these professionals, these experts in that field, to share more wisdom with you all, to make things a lot better, so that Christianity can be a place, so that the Christian world, or no, forget it. Not Christianity, not the Christian world, so that Christ can be a place where people want to come and lay their frustration and their suffering at his feet. I mean, that's really what it is. So I want to dive deep into our hearts. Like I said in Reckless Love, I want us all to dive deep into our hearts and love in the way that God loves. So that's my answer. Sorry, I can go deeper, but
You want another question?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, David Wellman, I have a question. Which song or artist you've been introduced to in the course of this channel have you enjoyed the most?
I want to say Hillsong. I think Hillsong.
Why do you go with Hillsong?
I've enjoyed a lot, but I think I've listened to more of their music, and I appreciate their songwriting style. I appreciate their messages. I appreciate their layering, the musical layering. Just say falling up, David. Falling up has been my not a Boiling Point, man. You know what? I have to explore more music from Boiling Point. I really only have ever listened to 2 songs. And actually, no, I'm not gonna go with that. I'm not gonna go into that. Yeah. No offense, Eric. Eric, I love you, man. I haven't listened to enough of your music. Guys, you guys are embarrassing, man. I'm just kidding. No. Let's see, Hillsong Worship, United, or I think United. I haven't listened to enough Hillsong Worship, to be honest. I just haven't. I haven't explored enough of their music to say. So Eric's like, ha! He's like, all right, I'm not gonna be a member anymore. I'm sending my shirt back. Peace. No. A lot of love for Eric.
Yes.
But actually, another one that I've really have been really surprised. What was that? What was the artist that Ty Trebet has been really awesome too. Don't make me pick. Come on, it's like telling me which one of my children are my favorite.
We don't want to start that.
No, we don't want to start that.
No.
Somebody's gonna go. Let's start that.
Another one.
Okay.
From Brenda D. Do you feel overwhelmed with the amount of song requests?
I do feel overwhelmed with the amount
of.
He does.
It's not like in a bad, overwhelming feeling. It's more of like he feels bad. Like he's like, I want to get to this person and this person. And
I do.
It's just,
I want to respond to all of them, and I really dislike. Not that you should stop, okay? But I don't like when I see like, hey, for the 38th time, will you please react to this song? And I'm like, oh, I'm just not. I just can't listen to them all. I wish I could. Look, believe me. If the copyright issue weren't a thing, I would do a whole hour of nothing but just like, let's react. In fact, I've done some on Instagram. Maybe we could do some more on Instagram.
Because that one, I mean, you weren't able to repost it.
Yeah, I wasn't able to repost it.
Like, it didn't get blocked or anything. Right. We were able to be on there for like 5 hours if we wanted to. Like,
yeah.
I mean, hour at a time.
Yeah, so we might be able to do a little bit more on Instagram. Yeah, sure. Somebody asked me if I was going to be a pastor. I don't know. If I don't see that happening, but I'm not opposed to it. If that's where I'm led, I will eventually get there. But
start our own church. Oh my God.
I don't know. That's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility, like leading people and all that. I don't know how Pastor Chad does it, but he does an excellent job. By the way, that the gentleman that's posting and says the Arsenal, that's Pastor Chad that I mentioned on some videos. From the Arsenal Church. He has an awesome service that he does on Mondays. In fact, I think he might be coming on 3 p.m. my time, I think, or 4 p.m., something like that. He said, come on, we'll put you on staff. Okay, so I'm going to be a pastor at the Arsenal. I got to think about that, man. I need some to be more educated. I can't. Yeah, it's not a no. It's just a not now. All right, what else? By the way, like I forgot to mention, but please check out the Arsenal Church. He's got some pretty awesome content there. I should know because I'm in some of that content. Just kidding. I'm kidding. No. Seriously, you'll like his services. Really easy to digest. What would you say to yourself when you were doubting God? What would I say to myself? Like, what would I say now to my old self, or what would I say back then to myself? Let me see. What would you say to yourself when you were doubting God? That's the thing. I wasn't even a good atheist because I was still having conversations with God. I was just venting to him a lot. Like, why would you do that? Why would you show me so many beautiful things only to put someone only to put people in front of me that were going to shake my faith in you. And then I would put them in the back burner and, and then burn, sorry to say this, but I would burn Christians in the front burner. And I realized I was wrong for that. I was wrong. And whoever's watching, if I ever came across you in the street and I was unkind to you, I sincerely apologize. That was a lot of anger towards the church and not towards you specifically. And I'm truly sorry for that. I really am. You are already a minister of the gospel. We are his church on earth. And when we spread his word, why am I not putting these on screen? Hi, Leonardo. I still act like Eric didn't come into my life and changed this whole game for me. JM says, I have a question.
Gosh, she almost made me laugh and spill my coffee when he said that, because I was thinking of what Jose put.
Yeah.
Question.
Have you ever had a dreams that you wanted so bad you could do anything?
Jose, you almost made me spit out my coffee.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh, my mama bear says, "Canta, Leonardo, canta." She wants me to sing. Canta.
If you guys want Leonardo to sing at the end of this live, you guys just gonna put canta, canta. I'm
gonna say what I said last night. I would love to, but I can't. Little dad joke there for you. Let's see. Probably Young and Free. Love them all through. Young and Free, I've touched me so much. Teen and Still Are, Sinking Deep. Sinking Deep is. Did we check out Sinking Deep? I think we did, right? That's such a great song. So. Such a great song.
There's so many songs we've done.
Yeah, we covered so many. I can't even remember. List. Haley, you had mentioned you walked away from. You walked away from Shane and Shane's song. Do you care to mention what the song was and why? No, I don't. I don't think I mentioned that. If I did, I'm sorry, but no. Shane and Shane? No, in fact, I miss doing some Shane and Shane, to be honest. They were really, 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 really great. Let's see. Let's see. My first question, July last year, for you was how you describe a Christian and non-Christian. How about now? The same answer? It might have changed. So back then I said Christian was somebody who followed and practiced everything that has to do with Christianity, and a non-Christian, for me at least, personally speaking, it wasn't that I was an atheist, because I didn't want to say atheist or non-believer, because I believed in something. I hadn't signed up for what it meant to be a Christian. So I would think the label that best fit me was non-Christian at the time. And now that I dropped it, I really haven't said out loud, I'm a Christian, but that doesn't mean, because I have to be specific. Otherwise people are just going to take what I said and twist it. That doesn't mean that I haven't accepted Christ into my heart and that I don't accept him as my savior, or that I haven't confessed that he is my savior and that I am his. I have. What I mean by I haven't called myself a Christian is that there's so many things that are attached to the title, what it means to be a Christian. It weighs heavy, and so before I can actually openly say that, I'm comfortable saying that I am a follower of Christ, or that I'm a student of Christ, because then this allows me the flexibility of every guest that I have on the show to be able to ask them things about Christ, because I'm learning. I'm not going to come on here and be like, yes, I've been saved, and then start leading people without even knowing, what it is. Ambassador of the kingdom. That's the second time I've heard of that.
Somebody asked how we met.
How we met.
I did not hear how you. It was Pam McCloskey.
Okay. You want to tell this one?
Sure. I mean, we met at work. I mean, he was, I don't know. Should I? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, we didn't really start talking at all until after he stopped working at at the same job that I worked at. We worked at the restaurant together. He was my boss, supervisor, I guess, or not really. He was I
was a supervisor there at the restaurant where she used to work.
Manager. So.
Right. It wasn't a manager, so I can't say manager, but I was more like a supervisor there. Mm-hmm. I met her. I left that particular location. We started talking later, and then
it just kind of went uphill from there.
Uphill means we were struggling up. Yeah, I guess it was a bit.
I don't want to say downhill because that sounds bad. No?
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, we met at this. We met at our restaurant that I worked at that I no longer work at.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, so it all worked out. And now she's here. She's the greatest producer. And
I'm the what is it called? What it called?
Oh, the content manager.
She's a content manager, producer, cook, baker. Yeah,
all of it. Wonder Woman is what I call her. Were you a Christian? I was not.
When he met me, yes, I was on my own journey with that. I was probably about a year in from me coming back to Christianity and my faith. I had slipped away to myself, and then when he met me, I was slowly, like I said, on my own journey. So when he started Oceans, I was already a year and back into following Christ again.
Roxana, could you answer Jose's question? He has a real question. He says, "Could you please react? Could you react to the blessing? Could you let him know, please, where he could find that?" Oh man. Let's see what else. Congrats. Thank you so much. Is this the full-time gig for both of you now? I don't think I knew that. It is the full-time gig for us now. In fact, I can get a little bit into that. So I'll keep taking some questions.
Okay.
But I want to just briefly point out. So for those of you who don't know the story, for those of you who do know the story, I apologize. I'm going to repeat it one more time, but I'm going to give you the condensed version of it. So I grew up Catholic. My family has always been Catholic. I used to play guitar in the Catholic Church. And when my grandfather passed away when I was 16, I would connect with God with what I call signs, so lights flickering, things like that, and it would be a calling for me to be still internally and to bring myself to complete stillness and then receive some kind of like guidance and like closure from God, right? Which at the time I thought it was my grandfather telling me, guiding me, right, or protecting me. So he passed away, and I had questions, obviously, right? So I saw the signs. I shared my very special relationship with God with my uncle, who is a Jehovah's Witness at the time, or he still is. And he said that God has ceased all miracles. There's no signs, no nothing. That what I'm actually experiencing is the devil who is toying with me and making me believe that it's my grandfather or that it's God, and he is tricking me so that he can get me to be a member of his clique and to be, a part of Satan's army, supposedly. So I went. I started questioning myself: is it God or is it the devil? I started not to know. So I was looking for truth, and I went to the priest in my church and asked him, and he threatened to kick me out. He threatened to kick me out of church because he mistook my questions as me being doubting my faith. And he started to treat me just differently. And when he finally threatened to kick me out, I decided to leave the church, and I became an atheist. And I was really, really, really angry. And I was on a mission to prove that there was no God. I said that. I would argue with people on the street. I would do so much just to try to make myself feel better of this pain that I was feeling, because something so beautiful, something that I was really deeply, profoundly connected to, was torn out and taken from me. So I fought God's people, and I fought God. But finally one day I was in the shower and I surrendered, and I said, okay, I'm really tired of fighting with you. I know that you're there. I know that you are, but I don't know why your people have shaken my faith in this way. And I said, but you know something, I know that you're there. I want you. I don't want a church. I don't want a book. I don't want a person. I don't want you to tell me. I don't want to learn about you through a person. I want a direct encounter with you. And if you really are there, and I know you're there, I said, I'm here. Like, I give up. So I didn't say I surrender. I said, I give up. I give up is what I said. And then I was embraced. A huge, warm hug, if you will, just wrapped me. I bawled like a child in the shower. Pastor Chad was one that said that, like, since I was in the shower, that was God baptizing me. I like that idea, actually, because from that day I dropped the atheist label. I dropped the atheist label.
Thank you so much, Eric Davis.
Eric, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much, Eric. Eric, my friend Eric. I gave up this silly atheist label, and I realized that it was him all along, still protecting me, even though I ran away from him, even though I was fighting. So that song, "When I Was Your Foe, Your Love Still Fought for Me," that hit really heavy in my heart, because even when I was God's enemy, even when I hated him, even when I was so angry that he took everything good from my life, that my grandfather was gone, that my only father figure was gone, that my real father was such a huge disappointment in my life, like all of that, even though all of that happened, he still looked after me. He still protected me, because I still kept seeing the signs. And that was like really important to me. The first, I want to talk about the first Christian to show me respect and kindness. And that person is this beautiful, beautiful creature that's sitting right next to me here. She was the first person who actually showed me respect. She didn't push her ideas on me. She didn't push her beliefs on me. She didn't question what I believed. She didn't tell me that I was going to go to hell for not believing. She just loved me. She just showed kindness, and she loved me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. She just loved me. I'm kidding. You're good. She just loved me, familia, and showed me that it was okay for me to be myself. And shortly after this, familia, the signs kept getting heavier. But I'm going to talk about my first song that I reviewed that planted this seed. Shortly after I met Erika, I had a friend on Instagram who, it actually wasn't a friend. He was a photographer that I really look up to, because he does photography for like celebrities. And I thought it would be cool one day to actually photograph my favorite person, my favorite musician, which is Brandon Boyd from a band called Incubus. Please don't judge the name, but he's Brandon Boyd from Incubus. And I said, one day I would love to take his portrait. I just want to sit there and take this man's portrait, because he had such a huge impact in my life as well, in my adolescence, forming my way of thinking, right? And so this man, who is a professional celebrity photographer, I thought is somebody who I'd probably want to know, so that I can see how he works and get in the business, right? It was selfish. Yes, it was selfish in that way. But he's also a musician, and he posted this thing on Instagram, and he was like, "Hey, is anybody interested in listening to my music and then just giving me some feedback?" And I said, "I would." And he goes, "Great." It was the first time he acknowledged me. I was like, "Great, this is excellent." And then he goes, "Cool, here's the SoundCloud link to all my music. Just tell me what you think." So on the SoundCloud, I realized that there's these little tabs where you can leave notes. So I started leaving notes. "I love the guitar here. Oh, I love the way that the vocals came in here. Oh, the background vocals could have been lowered a little bit more. Oh, love the guitar riff. Love this drum beat. This is not my favorite song, and these are the reasons why." And he really wanted just real feedback, right? And so he wanted that feedback. I gave him that feedback, and he said, "Man, I didn't receive any, and no one actually gave me that detailed of feedback." And he said, "Dude, you're really good at listening to music. Have you ever considered being a music critic?" And I thought, no, I wouldn't. I mean, and then I thought that I used to watch these kids who would react to these hip hoppers who would react to metal music, and I thought that was awesome, but it wasn't for me. So anyway, moving on. So that was the first time that I actually reviewed a song or reviewed music, and somebody planted the seed of me, critiquing music, right? Then I want to talk about the dragon in my life, or the demon in my life. Ever since I was 6 years old, my mother met this man who, just to give you a brief background here. My mother fled Mexico when I was 2 to get away from my father, who was an alcoholic, and he was abusive in the worst way possible. So my mom fled the country to get me to safety. She came here. And the sad thing is that she ended up being with someone who was very kind, very polite in the beginning, and then shortly after she became pregnant with my sister, he started to change. This man, he started becoming more aggressive and violent, and it was just not good at all. And for 30 years, familia, my mother was underneath the talons of this horrible dragon. And I recently had moved back into my mother's house, and he was just so, yeah, the bike wrecker. Oh, by the way, thank you, JM, for reminding me about that. He lost it on the 4th of July. He was drinking, and he was just walking around the house, just following my mom, bothering her. I can hear her from my room. And then finally he snapped, and I went out there and I protected her. But before I get into this section, because that was 4th of July, around the beginning of April, familia, I had turned to God once again, and I said, God, I really want you to move in my life, and I want you to help us be rid of this person. Like, I'm not asking you to harm him, okay? I'm not asking you, because at that time it seemed like the only way that we would be able to get rid of him would be if something tragic were to happen to him. But I didn't want that. That's not in my heart. So I said to him, like, I just want to be able to do something that will allow him to leave, and that this house will still be unaffected financially. Okay. Unaffected financially, so that my mother can finally have the peace that she deserves, and that everything is at peace here in this house. She risked a lot. She was telling us a story about her journey just coming to this country. She took a huge risk to get me here. She took a huge risk, and I think I was ready to be used, like, in whatever way that he wanted to use me. And so the situation started to get worse. It got really, really bad on the 4th of July. Well, before, I'm going to eventually get to us getting rid of him. The next part of my little slide here is Oceans. I was introduced to Oceans while I was with Erika. She used to play worship music in the background, and Oceans really stood out to me. It was a melody that was beautiful, and I was, it was like calling out to me, you know. And the lyrics are it's so poetic, almost, how things ended up becoming. Oceans, played in the background. I drove home, and I just kept seeing 333 everywhere. 33 on license plates, exit 33 right near her hometown, Tustin, exit 33.
Mm-hmm.
Later, closer to my house, there was an exit. It was exit the 3rd Street, exit 33. So 3rd Street, exit 33. And I was like, okay, this is happening way too much. I'm not sure what's going on. I get home. My mom wants some carne asada, of course.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, why don't you go to the store and go buy the carne asada? She gave me directions. On how to get there. And then she goes, you're going to go down the street. You're going to turn the street curves, and it's right there on your left. You can't miss it. I said, okay. I get there, and the address is, come on, focus. The address is 333. Okay. I park right in front, and they have a sign that says two Gatorades for 333. We're not sponsored by Gatorade, by the way, or the Lakers. 2 for 333. And I'm like, this is happening way too much. Like, this is not a coincidence. This is something else. So later on that evening, I'm sitting in my room, and I'm listening to Deftones, one of my favorite bands, and I'm dissecting this beautiful song, and I'm just listening to it, breaking it down, listening to the bass. I stopped it. I went all the way to the beginning, listened to all the guitar parts, and I'm breaking the song down. And out of nowhere, I just get this warm feeling in the pit of my stomach that I always get, and that's my 333. That's my call. And I was like, okay. I took off my headphones, and I'm like, finally, I'm picking up that call, right? Finally. Pick up that call, and I'm like, okay, what is it? I'm here. And I was like, what do you want? Okay. And familia, this is not a literal conversation. It wasn't a voice that I was hearing. This is a feeling that was translated into this. Okay. I can't really explain to you how this works. I'm only telling you my truth, my honest experience. It said, what do you want to do? To get out of this situation, to get him to get this? You asked, so what do you want? And I said, I just want, I want to do something with music. I love music. Obviously, I'm sitting there, dissecting music. I want to do something with music. He said, you got to be more specific than that. You have to be more specific than that. I said, okay, I want to critique music. I want that seed to grow. I want to critique music. And then he said, okay, well, then do a reaction channel. I'm like, reaction channel? Like, I never done a reaction channel. I don't even know how to go about it. And it was like, hey, okay, you do videography and you edit videos for someone already. That's what you do. Because I was editing videos for a doctor, a dentist. You already edit videos. It's not rocket science. You could figure it out. And I was like, but I don't have lighting. And it's like, not a problem. You can just get one of those, that light right up here, that one. That's the one that I started off with. You can get that, put it in front of you, light yourself up. Nasty yellow, didn't know a thing about lighting. Big difference now. And just press record. And I'm like, but I don't have a fancy camera. You have a phone, the Android Galaxy S10 Plus, by the way. I'm not sponsored by them, but if you want a spot on my channel, you're welcome to hit me up. I'm just kidding. And he said, just put the camera and press record. And I was like, but what am I going to listen to? Where do I start? I was looking for excuses, familia, not to do what God was telling me to do. And it was because I was scared. I was really, really, really scared. Right. And I said, where do I start? What song or what music, what genre? There's so much music. And it played, Spirit lead me where my faith is without borders. It played and I was like, that's Christian music. And I was like, so? and I was like, I don't know anything about Christian music. He said, exactly. It's going to be a new experience for you. I'm like, okay. So I looked up the song. I pressed record. I uploaded it. And I was completely terrified of you all.
I know.
I wasn't sure how you all were going to receive that video, if you were going to like it, like me. And I did get some scary moments where people were telling me, dude, you're just taking advantage. You're non-Christian and he's just doing it for the clicks and all that stuff. Right. It really got to me. It really hit me really, really hard. I can't tell you how many times I almost wanted to quit because I was like, I don't want people to think that. I don't want people to think that I'm taking advantage of them somehow. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not. Like, there's literally, you're making $0 from this. So what is it that you're taking advantage of? Right. In fact, Pastor Chad was the one that gave me the push to start Patreon and to actually start doing my the super chats. And I'm like, okay, that's eventually when I got to that first 1,000 subscribers. But when I got to 3,000 subscribers, I was almost in tears. I called Erika and I was like, babe, I don't think I could do this. This is terrifying. I'm trying to respond to so many comments and I just can't keep up with them. And then they give me all this feedback and I don't know if I could do this. She said, if you don't want to do this anymore, then don't. But if you do want to do this, this is bigger than you and you got to give it, you got to go full all the way in.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, okay, all in. And I was all in.
I knew that he was all in. I wanted him to know that option was okay because I was going to support him either direction he was going to do, so, but I knew it. I could see it I could hear it in his voice when he called me that he just needed reassurance. He needed somebody to be like, you got this, and like I said, I was going to support him either way. I love him and I was going to be there right by his side. And
she has been. And so that was the beginning of this journey. So the record and I'll take care of the rest. It was practically what was sounding inside of me, just press record and I'll take care of the rest. So the non-Christian title, when I wanted to place my title, I wanted to make sure that people knew. I don't know why it was important for people to know that I wasn't a Christian, because I didn't want people to I don't know. I just kind of didn't. I don't know. I really don't know why, but I was afraid of that people were going to say you're a Christian. I'm like, no. I swear, I'm sorry. At the time, I was like, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. Not that Christians are bad, but you all taught me that Christians are good. That you're good people. That you do love and care about people, and you're not hurtful, and you're not all bad. Because you all welcomed me with open arms, and I'm grateful that you did.
That was like a fear of mine for you.
What?
Like, people not being accepting or welcoming or loving to you because of your past. And that scared me because I didn't want you to be pushed away farther, or not even just to becoming a Christian. You know, that was never the thing that I was like, praying for, hoping for. You know, what I was praying for and hoping for, that you were just going to be able to be yourself, that the person that I got to know, and I was a Christian when I met you, and you were so loving and kind and forgiving, and a lot of times you would hold yourself back from the world, and I didn't want that for you again. You know, that was one of the things that I would pray for every day, like, and just to have God continue to protect you, you know, and from people maybe hurting your feelings, or and to tear you down when you were just trying to.
They've tried. They
have, but we've had more people on the other side, you know, that have been welcoming, loving. So it's been just beautiful.
Yeah. So thank you all for that, for being welcoming in that way. So As You Find Me, it led me to songs like As You Find Me, which is one of the first ones that I actually cried to, because I got the message loud and clear that God loved me just as he found me. Like, it didn't matter what I had done. It didn't matter who I was and what my past was about, the things that I was ashamed of. He still accepted that from me. So that was a great, song, a great transition. We have So Will I was another one that was a really beautiful song, and then Reckless Love. And when Reckless Love hit, that's when the channel, around June, was when the channel started to pick up, thanks to Reckless Love and the sort of challenge that came with that song, because it almost got blocked, actually, and I was almost going to get my first strike on the channel, and then Corey stepped up and saved the channel. Actually, you all stepped up, because you all messaged Corey like crazy, and Corey, being the awesome person that he is, and I can't wait to have him on the show. I can't wait to. I already know that he's going to say yes. I can't wait to have him on the show. I don't know. He's on hiatus right now. I think he's hiding, but I have Gable Price and Friends, who just made a song with Corey. They've agreed to come on the show, so I'm going to talk to them about their experience with Corey, and then I'm going to get Corey. If you excuse me just 1 second, I'm going to unplug my mic and plug it back in so it doesn't die out. We're back. Okay, good. And so a lot of you came to this channel because of Reckless Love. Because of that song, you all came to the channel for the very first time, and I'm really grateful, right? So that was a great change, and that's when the channel started to like really get some traction. It really started to pick up, and then so that was about June, and then July, the dragon was slayed. This is when he started losing his cool. Honestly, my stepdad was not well. He for days before the 4th of July, he was already doing weird things like hanging out in the garage and just playing the music really loud, and then getting in his car, burning out, and then coming right back, blasting the music, and then slamming doors and all kinds of just really childish things. Like, you could tell that he just didn't mature past the age of maybe 12 or 11, or maybe even younger than that, emotionally and mentally speaking. So then on the 4th of July, he actually threw a chair at my mom. He didn't throw it at her. He threw it in the direction where she was, with the intention of missing, but just that kind of like, I could destroy you at any moment. If I wanted to, you'd be gone. And so on that day, it's okay. On that day, he was following my mom around, drinking, trying to get her to drink. And then in a moment, he peeled out and left, and I went out there to talk to her, and we didn't even notice. I kid you not, it was like the devil, because out of nowhere, he just walks in from the backyard. And it's like, we didn't hear the car. We didn't hear the garage. We didn't hear him open the side door. We didn't even hear him walk into the back. It was just like, he just appeared and he was like, just being this aggressive person. He threw something in front of the kids. I had the kids go to the room, and then I got on the phone and I pretended that I was calling someone else, but I was actually on the phone with the police, and he knew what he was doing. He was like, the police isn't going to do anything. Call the police. I don't care. They're not going to do anything. Why? I haven't touched you. I didn't touch your mom. And I was like, yeah, but you threw a chair at my mom. And he's like, no, but I didn't hit her. So you know what they're going to do? They're just going to leave. And I was like, okay, we'll see about that. He was in my face. I was in the police with calling the police, and I was really calm. Familia, I can't tell you, I've never been more calm externally and more calm and more like terrified internally than I was that day. My heart was racing so fast, and I wanted to do so much, and my impulse was like fight or grab mom and fly, and I couldn't do any of that. I needed to be smart, and I needed to make sure that we went about this the right way, because it was still his house, and technically he could say, I want him out, you know. And so finally I see that a police officer, because our house is facing so like this is our house, and there's a street that faces our house, and then there's a street like this, and there's a street that goes here. I saw the officer pull in and stay there. Like, he pulled up, and I saw him from the window. So I start making my way to the front door, and he goes, "Oh, you call the police?" Like he was calling me all kinds of names. "You call the police? Why don't you do it like a man? Be a man and fight me?" And I was like, if that's your definition of a man, then I'm not a man, because I don't deal with my issues that way. I don't deal with my issues like that. Like, I'm not gonna fight you. I go, because then the consequences is gonna be horrible for me in front of my children, especially. Like, I'm not that guy. I'm not you, is basically what I told him. And he said, "Go ahead, man, hit me." And I was like, "I'm not gonna hit you. What, in front of the police?" I go, "If you want to fight me, if you're the one that wants to fight me, go ahead, hit me in front of the police officer." I go, "Good, go ahead." And he was like, "Yeah, no, I wasn't saying I was gonna fight you." So then the officer pulls up and calls me, and now he's like a whole different person. Right now he's like smiling and being all nice and happy. The police said, "Well, we can't arrest him because he didn't hit you, he didn't hurt your mom." He knew it. He said, "But what we can do is we can take him and drop him off somewhere so he can cool off and then come back." I was like, "Sure." So they dropped him off maybe a couple of blocks, because he walked right back, and he was so furious. I mean, this dragon was spitting fire. He destroyed his own bike. It was his bike that my daughter used to use, that Leonardo used to use. He destroyed his own bike in front of us, kind of to prove a point that like I can't hurt you, but I'm going to hurt you indirectly by destroying the thing that your daughter loves the most, right? And you all, I don't have a picture of it, but you all were so wonderful. You donated money for a bike, and I did get her a bike. I'll post a picture of it later. I did end up getting her a beautiful bike, and that she rides, and thanks to you all, right? So, oh my goodness. So all of that happened. Sorry, I'm not going to make this story too long, but that happened. And when he came back spitting fire, he actually grabbed all his things and left. He left. And the day after, I drove over to Home Depot. I bought new locks. I changed the locks. And then at one point, like, I left the house. My mom was so terrified. He showed up while I was at the store. He shows up. My mom's so terrified. She unlocks the door because he's like threatening to break it down. And I guess in my mom's head was like, I'd rather open the door and have him be calmer than for him to break it down and then be aggressive, have all that energy pumped up. So she let him in, and then I was able to still get him out of the house. I was still able to like talk him out of the house. He was like, "Oh, I came to ask for forgiveness because what I did wasn't right." And I said, "Look, it's not that easy. Like, 30 years, you've tormented this family for 30 years. You don't just get to act that way and then apologize." I go, "This isn't the first time you've behaved this way. This isn't the first time you've apologized. And this is not going to be that easy. What you need to do is find your way out. You need to, if you really want to be with my mom, because everything you have, this house, your car, your job, everything that you have is thanks to my mom. It's thanks to my mom." And I said, "And if you really want to show your appreciation, if you really want to be grateful for what she's done for you, then you're going to treat her with respect. You're going to leave the house. You're going to call her every night to see how she's doing, and you're going to court her. You're going to." He's like, "Well, how would your mom know that I've changed if I'm not in the house?" I said, you do it with your love, with your actions. Mm-hmm. You prove that you've changed, and then you'll be welcome to the house. He didn't like it, but he left. He's never come back ever since. I put cameras everywhere. He's left, right? He left the house, and I'm like extremely grateful for that. Incredibly grateful for that. No, the dragon was not from Mexico as well. He was much from another southern country. I don't want to get really into that. If I can be honest, I don't like to get into that. But so we finally got rid of the dragon, and this house has been at peace. But I can't really say that it's been 100% at peace, because my mother still has these sort of like after effects. You know, these things that have happened to her. She can't sleep and other things, right? But wanting to quit. I've been wanting to quit so many times along the way, but your stories are the stories that bring me back. I want to walk away from things, and then I get an email from someone who says, "Thanks for what you said in this video or what you did here. I was my faith was shaken, and thanks to you, I went to church now." Or I was an atheist before, or my husband's an atheist, and we started watching the show together. We watched The Chosen with you, and your comments were helpful to that. Or the Q&As. By the way, the Q&A with an atheist, the Q&A with a former atheist. I had a show here called the Q&A with a former atheist, and I quit doing those because someone was just bashing me on the live chat, and it was just very stressful. I wasn't strong then, but now that I'm on this side, now that I'm on the other side, now that I've dropped the non-Christian title, and now that I've announced, I haven't officially announced, but now that I've announced, and I'm announcing it now, I guess, that this channel serves God, serves Christ. Okay, this channel serves Christ, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spread love. We're gonna serve God's people. Okay, and that's the direction that we're taking it in. So this Wednesday, I'm going to do the episode again at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 6 p.m., I'm going to do another episode of the Q&A with a former atheist, to allow you all to ask questions about what it was like when I was an atheist. Maybe you have questions of how to handle an atheist in your life. Maybe you have a child who doesn't believe and you want to know more of what they believe. Maybe you want insight into the mind of the atheist. We could do that. But the special thing about this Wednesday, the thing that's going to make this one different from the rest of them, is that I'm actually going to have Pastor Mike on the show with me, so that he can give me some kind of biblical reference or something biblical that you can use to help educate yourselves a little bit more on how to handle situations like that. The other thing is, if we can get the link to Discord on here. You can also join us on Discord. It's absolutely free for prayers, but our good friend Matt Sabi has a apologetics class that he has every Thursday, and they're recorded. So if you want to catch up on the apologetics, this is just a way for you to learn how to answer those questions as well on a whole different level, more well thought out, and to give more well thought out answers. You're welcome to do that as well. And so we're doing a lot, familia. We're doing a lot here, and I'm excited. I'm really, really excited about where it's going. So yes, there have been moments that I've wanted to quit, but your comments, your testimonies have drawn me back in, and have drawn me deeper and deeper and deeper into this. So I dropped the non-Christian title after I got into a car accident. And if you saw that video, you'll know why. I was with my daughter and my nephew in the back seat, and as I was driving down the street, and there's a video out. I'll put the link in the description below. I was driving, and as I was passing by this car, this guy decided he was going to make a U-turn. So he cut me off, and the front end of my car used the front end of his car as a ramp, and my car almost tipped over. Science would say that car should have tipped over because the momentum was just there, right? But it looks like right as I got this way, almost vertical, something pulled the car back on all four wheels. And it was definitely something strange to experience, and then to see it from the camera's perspective, like from another perspective, was just evident that that God was looking out for my girls, my daughter, my nephew, and myself. I would have been completely happy going down, or that car flipping over, had I been by myself. But the fact that it happened when my kids were in the car, and he made it go on all four wheels, like that was a miracle. I would say. The fact that happened made me drop the non-Christian title, and then pursue this channel and convert it into what I know it could potentially be. And so we welcome everyone here. And you're welcome also in Discord. Now, Discord, I want to talk just briefly about Discord. It's just a place for all of us to come and enjoy each other's company. I would love it if it cannot be a place where we discuss the differences that we have as far as what we believe. So I don't want even though it's called Discord, I don't want any Discord on there. I want everyone to get along. I want prayers to be offered. I want prayers to be requested. I want growth to be achieved there. I want videos. We want to share videos with you all that are going to help you grow in your spirituality, or grow mentally and emotionally. That's what the podcast is now going to be as well. It's going to be about helping you all drop your insecurities, be more in tune with yourself, to be more serving to people and to Christ. And so that's where the goal of the channel is with the podcast, specifically the podcast. So I have a video that's I have a video that's coming out. I think I'm going to release it on Thursday. It's another podcast with a young man who is just brilliant. He's young. He's a graduate from the Hillsong International Leadership College in Sydney. And he's a theologian, he's a pastor and a musician as well. And we had a really great conversation the other day about the Bible and Christ and the love of God. And so you're going to really enjoy that. I think I'm going to release it on Thursday. For members, I'll release it maybe tomorrow. If you're a member, if you've signed up for the membership, you can sign up by clicking on the join button down below. You're going to be able to see the podcasts a few days before I release them to the general public. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. I have a therapist coming up on Saturday I believe I'm meeting her at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And then I have another therapist who wants to talk to me as well. I'm working out the date and time, but we've got a lot of great content that's coming up, familia, to help you all. So if there's any topic that you want to cover, let me know, and I'll find someone that can touch on that topic. My goal is to help everyone grow. Some are going to grow small a little bit. Some will grow big. Some it's going to take a lot for you to grow a little bit, and for some of you, it's going to take a little to grow a lot. Mm-hmm. So stick on the channel, and you want to open? Yeah, sorry. I think my nephew is knocking on the door. Very polite.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just dropped the phone.
It's okay. Very politely knocking on the door. So, we're going to have some therapists on here of all types, and pastors too. So, I want to maybe have like a panel of pastors just discussing with their experience with the love of God. So yes, great content is definitely coming. I'll open it up now to more Q&A. So if you have more questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer the questions for you now. Mama Bear says, oops.
On my booster.
She has a booster.
I have a booster seat.
There it is.
Sorry.
Mama Bear says, I'm so sorry, darlings. I got to go. Love you both so much. And I love La Familia. Mama Bear, thank you so much for joining us. We love you too. Buenas noches. This channel of yours is great with the family environment and vibe. Yes, I want to keep it that way as well. I do want to have serious topics though. Okay. We are going to have some serious topics because we're dealing with people who have either are suffering either actual illnesses. Which Bible? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what honestly, I'm not sure. I can't really answer that. Heather, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate that so much. What is your favorite meal? My favorite meal? Oh, I don't know. Rhymes with macos, rhymes with nacos. Naco. Oh, hang on. I don't know.
This way. I'm going the opposite way.
Yeah, tacos. Tacos are my favorite meal. Tacos are my favorite meal. Hi, congratulations on your anniversary. I haven't commented for a while, but still here in the background. Love it, Gil.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tacos. We're getting tacos on the chat.
Now.
Maybe tomorrow let's talk about it. Well, actually, I haven't decided which song I'm going to do for Talk About It Tuesday. I'm thinking about
a couple.
I think Here's in Heaven, I think it would be a really great one Here's in Heaven would be great. So Heather became a member. We also have Debbie Santos who became a member. Thank you so much, Debbie. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Awesome. So what kind of tacos though? Okay, my favorite are carne asada tacos. I made some carne asada tacos yesterday. They were so good.
Well, you guys follow him. A lot of
Yeah.
them follow you on Instagram. You reposted it, but I posted
Seriously.
a video of him, and he was like,
you have to buy a griddle versus a grill. The grill is good, but a lot of the juices fall into the fire, and on a griddle they stay there, so it stays juicy. Oh, it's delicious.
all the greasy goodness is still in there.
I'll be honest, it was the first time I ever made tacos like that, like on a griddle. You know, I always like just make the carne asada and then cut them later and make myself tacos. But that was so good, and we made we made mulitas, which are like cheese, 2 tortillas, cheese, carne asada in the middle, salsa. Boy, oh boy.
I'm on.
Yeah. What are we gonna eat today? Chicken tacos.
Yeah, chicken tacos. Let's take out the chicken.
Which part of the Bible do you like most? Okay. Which part of the Bible do I like most? Honestly, I don't know. I've read a couple of chapters. I think my favorite so far has been, I think Matthew, for some strange reason. Is that where the Sermon on the Mount is? I've been reading that a couple of times the last few weeks, and in fact, with Andrew, the guy that I told you graduated from Hillsong, Andrew, he broke those paragraphs down. The first paragraph before that, so chapter 12, and then chapter 13, and that's Corinthians. Sorry, 1 Corinthians. The love is patient, love is kind. He broke that down so beautifully. I had like a wow moment. I had I had to step back for a moment and just be like, let that cook for a little bit, because I don't really. I can't right now. Like it took me a while to like really click. I repeated it back to him, and it's just something so beautiful. And I think it's going to be of great benefit to all of you. If you haven't already, familia, please help me out. Help us out and like this video. Just hit that like button if you've gotten some value, or if you learned something new about our journey here. Hit that like button. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Mustachio here, you see this is not just a mustache. This is a mission, and we're on a mission to reach 100,000 subscribers. She's not on a mission. To reach 100,000 subscribers. As soon as we hit 100,000 subscribers, he's gone. And it's kind of,
and I get to do it.
Yeah, and it probably, honestly, I like Mustachio, but sometimes, eating, it's weird. It's weird for sure. And share us on Facebook if you're on Facebook. We'd like to see more people from Facebook. That would be wonderful. Okay, so more questions. Can we just I'll take a couple questions.
Let's see.
Please live stream it. Yeah, we're gonna do it live. So if she gets to cut it, we're gonna do it live for sure.
Who said?
Melissa.
Oh yes.
Please live stream. Yeah, we will. Yeah.
I'm thinking
Still pressuring me to subscribe.
Wow. 1 year later.
Jose, if you want, we know that this channel isn't for everyone. We know that Texas is awesome, and that you have much cooler things to do with your life than to be subscribed to some random guy in California who's always talking about tacos. But we understand.
Eric Davis has to go. Okay.
Oh, Eric Davis, thank you so much for the super chat and for your awesome support on this channel. You've been a big support on this channel.
And we are continuously praying for you.
Yeah, okay? we are. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have you thought of reacting to Brazilian Christian singers? I have. I did one, Barak, something Barak was, but he was blocked on my channel, so I couldn't keep it. So in the beginning, when songs were blocked, I didn't even want to explore more of their music, because I knew I worked for hours editing some videos only for them to be blocked, and I was like, oh, that was a waste of time. So yeah. Did you ever get a chance to appear in The Chosen season 2? No, I didn't, because the time when they were recording, I had gotten COVID, and a lot of things had changed on my channel that I didn't really get a chance to, unfortunately. But I'm glad that they're going to allow me to react to it. They actually reached out to me yesterday. They want to send me some merch, some shirts. So when I react to season 2, I'm going to have probably some new shirts of theirs.
Thank you, Lucia.
Lucia, thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias for joining us on memberships.
Do you want to explain to Chantel how she becomes a member? She was asking.
Oh yeah. So 2 things. If right below the screen, if you're on YouTube, right below the screen, there's a button here that says. Actually, let me.
Can you screen it?
I could probably show you. Let me see. Let me go to my keyboard. Battery is probably dying. Let me go to YouTube.
It's not the mic. If
it's not the mic, it's something else. It's what is going on here, familia. Let me see. Let me pick one of my videos so that I don't get
Brenda Martinez
let's
is
see.
waiting.
Brenda Martinez, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Brenda.
joining us, Brenda. Appreciate it very, very much. I'm almost pulling it up here from me. I'll let you know how you can do that. Okay, cool. So if you are on, oh, never mind.
Well, we can still show it if you already
can.
If you already have it up.
Okay, never mind. I don't have it up. Let me see. Let me remove this. Let me. Where is it? Stop screen share. Share. Never mind. Yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it later.
Yeah,
because I can't.
She found it though. So thank you, Chantel.
Excellent, Chantel. Thank you so much.
Let's see.
And by the way, if you have like an iPhone, I heard that you won't see the join button. You have to go onto Safari, log into your YouTube account on Safari, and do it through Safari for some strange reason. I don't know, something with Apple.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I have an Android. But we're not getting into that. All right, cool. So just a few more questions, and then we're gonna head out and let you all have the rest of your day. Let's see. If you could have a writing session with any artist you've critiqued, who would it be? Ooh. Oh, I want to say something so bad, but I can't. I have to wait. Probably. Okay. So if I could sit somewhere, not have a writing session, but if I could sit somewhere and watch somebody rehearse, I would be Hillsong United. I just have to be in that space to see how they're like rehearsing or how they're writing music. But if I can have a one-on-one like songwriting session with someone, I would probably have it with King's Kaleidoscope. Ooh. I think King's K would definitely, Joel Houston for sure. But I think King's K would probably be really interesting because they have like this rock thing, this real like blues thing, this funk thing going on, and it's just the energy. They have horn sections, violins, an awesome bass, 2 drummers. Come on, I think that's who I would definitely have something with. What song has been your most interesting song to review? Let's keep the questions to only one, okay? One question, like, because then it floods the live chat, and I don't want to have to do the slow mode because then it slows it really drastically. But what song has been the most interesting song to review? The most interesting song.
You have so many.
I think, okay, so if I look at like interesting, to me means like, okay, like I can't really say great things about it, but it's interesting. So or interesting, like, whoa, that's interesting how they did this, but I'm gonna go with the first. The most interesting one has been The Blessing, because that was, I think, the first one that I reacted to that I didn't fully understand why the repetitiveness. I'm like, they could have done so much with that song. Why did they spend so much just repeating the same? And by the way, I recommend that you listen to that song full speed, like speed it up and hear that melody because it's so funny. It's like like it's just so repetitive. So that was an interesting song. Nothing bad about it, but now I understand. At the moment, I didn't understand why the repetitiveness, but now I see that is Falling Up. Actually, the the answer is Falling Up. That's the answer, David always coming in through with the jokes.
That's a good question.
He's always from who?
Zan Henderson?
Oh, Zan. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
so
my
sorry.
friend from
No,
it's okay.
Wrong.
My friend from New Zealand. He was another person who invited me to be interviewed on his channel. What have you learned with editing and filming in the last year?
Patience.
Patience. Patience is the big one. As you can see, my frustration with myself. Okay, 2 things. Well, the most important thing that I've learned about editing and filming in the last year is that editing does not start when you're done with recording and you sit and put it into the editing software. Editing starts when you start press record, or even before that, when you're formulating your ideas of what song or what content you're going to create, that's when editing starts. Because if you just go into recording without having an idea of what it's going to look like in the end, then you waste a lot of time. I mean, I've gone through, like, I recorded for like 20 minutes straight, like of something I recorded for like 20 minutes, and I chopped that down to like 12 minutes or 8 minutes, and I'm like, I wasted all this time. So now I say I've practiced my intro. I've don't listen to the song first before I actually review it, right? So that's the only part that is like natural, or comes, unless I stop it and I have something to say, then I might edit that. But the song in its entirety is not chopped, and then the outro is not chopped, is chopped too. So I try to reduce my work in the editing software by making sure that as I'm recording, I'm clear on what I want to say. Like that alone I could have probably cut about 40 seconds of what I just said. But thanks a lot, Zan. So glad that you're still with us here. What else? Let's see. Who has God revealed himself to you as on your journey so far? Sending love from Cape Town. Hanan, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Who has God revealed himself to you as on your journey so far? Ooh.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I really don't know. Yeah, it's a tricky question. Who has God revealed himself? Like, not who through. Never mind.
Has
Who
God revealed himself to you?
Yeah. Well, the sustainer of all things. I think that's the clear
Beautiful.
thing. The sustainer of all things sustains if I can put it into simpler words, the glue that holds everything together. That's it. A true father. Yeah. The glue that holds everything together. If something is put together, if something exists, it is being held by that glue. So,
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will put the song. Yeah. I think it is in the description. If not, I will move it through. Yeah. Jireh. That's right. Jehovah Jireh. That's right. All right. Take a couple questions more and then we'll move on. I'm not personally Christian, but starts and ends really hit. See, we have things like this. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for not being shy and for saying hi and for being open. Okay. But Into the Wild Rider, by the way, have you seen that movie, Into the Wild? It's a pretty interesting movie. It says, I'm not personally Christian, but starts and ends really hits my soul. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that was a really great song too. Amen. And he's a good father. I had to leave the party early. Zoe, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Zoe.
It's gonna be over soon, and I am gonna save it. So if you want to share it or watch it later, you can. Do you plan on going somewhere again to listen to So Will I Under the Stars? Yes, we were talking about that yesterday, actually, that we want to look at the moon cycle calendar, so that we're not going on a day that the moon is out. We want to go on a day that the moon is not out, so that we can really have the full night sky. Because the last time we went, it was out. Yeah. So let's see. Do you think you will ever song produce music? I do, and I will. I bought a MIDI keyboard. I have a friend, another YouTuber, who I'm going to invite onto the channel to talk about music. So for the musicians, I'm going to give you all something good too, not just everyone else, but I do want to produce songs and produce music. There's some tracks on the, like in my videos that I produce, like drum beats and things like that, but I just don't have the time. I really wish I had more time to sit down and do that and record all that, but I need to get more organized. So
Who's getting married?
Who's getting married?
Who's wedding? What?
Look, everybody knows the shit thing of the wedding on the channel. Come on. We're not opposed to it. Okay. We're not being pushed. I don't want to be bullied into it. But
wait a second, since we're on the topic, this is my opportunity, and I have we have 130 people watching.
Today's video is brought to you by Pastor Chad, who is we just give us time, okay? Give us some time.
Yeah,
where can we just suggest songs to react to? Everywhere. Everywhere. Right now my list is so big that
I mean, you guys can also send stuff to me if you, because sometimes you can, I mean, not
actually,
you can follow me on Instagram too, or my email. Like I'm helping him now, like respond to emails, like relaying the messages to him, because sometimes he just gets so many that he can't see them all. So if you guys want, you're more than happy to message me, and I will promise I will relay the message to him. Okay.
What you can do is actually just leave it in the comments, because Erika is actually in charge of of combing through the comments now. She goes through all the comments. You know, she's hitting like and responding to a few things for the channel. And whenever something really requires like a more personal message from me, then I'll jump on those. But she can start to compile and add lists, so you can make them in the comment section down below of most videos. All right, thank you so much. Welcome, David Wellman. Bienvenidos. And we're this meeting is now ending.
Well, he was in and out, so that was good.
Good.
We won't tell the people at your meeting.
Yeah, great team, work well together. Yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot easier for me now that she's on board, and she's relaying a lot of messages and stuff and helping me get a little bit more organized, because trust me, believe me, I know if you know someone who says, first of all, if you know someone who says, I want to make videos on YouTube, definitely encourage them. It's worth it because you learn a lot about yourself. Do not discourage them, for sure. But if you think that making videos on YouTube is easy, it's not. There's a lot of work that goes into it. And I know some people personally who are like, oh, so you just make videos? Like, it's work. It's a lot of work. But I'm not just, it could be really easy if we just on here like hyping the music up like some channels do. That's easy. That's easy. But we're not just reacting to music anymore. This is going to be something much bigger than that. So
more valuable.
Putting meetings, I'm reading a lot more. I'm studying, like for example, the other day I was grilling some meat and I had my earpiece here and I'm listening to other lectures and other things that people are saying. I'm growing myself. I'm pushing myself to greater heights. We went for a walk last night because we know that we need that. We stretched out this morning. We're a really good team, Hannah.
Yeah, we're doing. It's been, this whole thing has been a blessing for me as well. Being in the midst of it all, it's actually, he's helped me a lot too, and just being a better version of myself, and discovering a lot of things for myself that I couldn't do, I guess, on my own in a sense. And I left my job too, so that's a good thing. It's a blessing. It was a little nerve-wracking because I was there 10 years, but it's God has a bigger plan for me too, and for us together, so he has a plan for us separately, but which is bringing us together, which makes it so way more special. So
yeah, so
beautiful.
We definitely are going to, and I like to announce something actually really, really important, that I had signed up for this program that helps people with like formulating like YouTube better, right? Like just making your YouTube channel better. It's this program called Think Media. So they just tell you how to like really like when to upload, how to read like the analytics, all the background stuff. Well, my channel is doing so well, and you guys are hearing this first. So 131 people on YouTube. I'm not sure how many people on Facebook. How many people on? Oh,
125.
125. So a few of you on Facebook. You're hearing it first. They liked what we're doing here, and not just me, but what we are doing here, because they had a meeting with me, and I told them about how we're all like now this big family, and we've grown to like places like Discord, and how much of a blessing you all have been, and things like that, and like about how you all are supportive of the channel, and how now it's somebody posted at 333. Can I get 333? Anyway, sorry, I'm like a squirrel right now. Like my attention is everywhere. But one of them from that program is writing a book for people who want to start a YouTube channel, and they have decided that La Familia is going to be a part of that book.
Yay!
They're going to actually publish our story on that book. So we're going to be. They're gonna it probably won't come out until next year, but they're gathering all their information together, and we're gonna be a part of that. So that is a blessing in and of itself. I want to start doing some other stuff too, familia. I know a lot of you have reached out to me. I want to maybe Anyway, I'll go more into detail into some other stuff, Amelia, because I want to be able to offer more than just reaction videos and to entertain you for a few like minutes, at a time. I want to do a lot more. I want to really, really impact your lives, and not because of me. Obviously, everything that I do, I want to point it right back to God, and show you all that you have something in you that is far greater than you've ever realized. That you can, trust God and take steps into the unknown, into what's scary, and that you have courage inside of you that is unstoppable, and that there's a spirit within you that can do practically anything, as long as you do it with God. That's why it says with God everything is possible. Not some things are possible, everything is possible. And so I want to bring you more of that. So that's why I'm going to have guests who are in the field of psychology to help us think clearer, to help us organize our thoughts, to help us understand our emotions a lot better. I'm going to have pastors on here to strengthen our faith so that we don't lose more people to like atheism and to other religions, and potentially have them end up being hurt by other people. So we want to build a stronger community, and by stronger, I mean I want us all to be a lot closer to each other and respect each other and to love each other. And I want to continue to do that. I want to continue to let that be the message of this channel. And I want it to echo throughout the internet and echo in your hearts and into your lives and into the lives of the people that you personally interact with. And that is to continue to spread the love that comes from above. We all have experienced it. Some of us have experienced a little bit of it. Some of us experience a lot of it. But whether it's a little or a lot, you can make a difference in this world, familia, by loving your neighbor. And it doesn't have to be something grandiose. It doesn't have to be this big, event. You don't have to feed 100,000 people. You don't have to do any of that. It could just start off by offering a smile to someone who just had a really rough day. It could just be that you sit with your partner and you listen to their story, even if you've heard it 1,000 times before. Or like, for example, like my mom, sometimes she'll tell me a story that she's already told me before, but I listen to her attentively like I've heard it for the very first time, because it's important to her, and just showing her that kind of attention. It's bigger than that. For example, yesterday there was a gentleman who was cleaning carpets across the street. And I was grilling a burger for Leonardo yesterday, and he comes across the street and he goes, "Hey, are you guys selling burgers?" And I was like, "No, we're not selling burgers." And he goes, "Oh, all right." And he walked away. And I wasn't going to offer him one, but then I was like, "Do we have more patties?" And then Eddie goes like, "Yeah." And she's like, give him a burger. And I was like, "Okay." So we gave him a burger. Actually, I said, "Hey man, do you want a burger?" And he's like, "Yeah, that'd be great. I'm hungry and I have to go to another job site now. I'm not gonna have time to stop and get food." So I said, "Yeah, come on down, man. What do you like?" So we gave him a burger. We had him sit down, and then he's like, "Wait." He's like, "Leo." So because I introduced myself, and then he's like, "Leo, what do you do? What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "That's weird. It's like the first time anybody's ever asked me right now." So I was like, "It's not, I don't know. Is it weird to say that I make YouTube videos for a living?" So I said, "Oh, right now I'm just currently doing YouTube." And he's like, "No way." And I go, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you do exactly?" And I was like, "What kind of videos?" And I do like reaction videos to Christian music. And he goes, "No way." And I go, "Yeah, it's like, I give my take on Christian songs." And then he's like, "Wait a minute." He goes, "I might have come across one of your videos because I remember seeing something that said like non-Christian reacts to Christian music," something like that. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No wonder, you look a little bit familiar." And I'm like, "Wow, that's the first time anybody's ever like recognized you, right?" So he was like saying how happy he was that, and then he was sharing his experience with the church. He stepped out of the church. He's no longer going to church, and he has his reasons. Again, another person that was hurt by the church and now is just out there. He's an atheist, or not an atheist. He's just solo, pretty much, but very susceptible to being pulled in any direction, because he was talking about a lot of things with me. But yeah, that's great. So that's what we want, familia. We want that for you all. We want you all to be happy. We want you all to live your best life possible, the best life that you could possibly live. We want you all to be at peace. We want you all to be reunited with loved ones. We want you all to fall in love and move across the continent to be with your loved one, with the person you found. We love that. We would love for you to find your passion for music and for you to pick up an instrument. We'd love for you to just say, "You know what? like I'm going all in and I'm going to church now, or I'm going all in and I'm going to go to school to study, to be theology so I can be a pastor. I want you all to just be, I want you all to be loved.
Yep.
I want you all to be loved. And I want you to take that love and love others with it. That's as simple as I can make it. And that's what we're doing here. And to love each other. That's as simple as I can make it, familia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So beloved, be loved. I love that, Troy. Thanks. Pete, thank you so much. Pete the poet. Thank you so much for that. What a great way to talk about your testimony. Thank you so much, BBG BEB. Church is not a building. That's right. I've learned that here with you all too. So, familia, it's about loving one another, being respectful towards one another. If you don't agree with someone, that's okay. You can disagree. But familia, I just want to point out that more importantly is love. It says it time and time again. And from what I've been reading and the conversations that I've been having with people, the most important thing about what the Bible says is that you love. Love is above all other things. In the end, you'll have three things: hope, faith, and love being the greatest of these things. And so you may disagree with someone, and that's okay. But I want you all to not meet them with opposition, meet them with love. Like, get to know the person, see where you all meet, see what you have in common. We already know where you're divided. That's easy to do. But like, you have someone who you don't agree with. It's very easy to say, well, that's stupid. But my church believes this, or I believe this other thing, or you know what, that's stupid. My lifestyle is this. Like we already know that. That's obvious. You don't need to point that out. But let's say you're like, okay, that's an interesting point of view. What happened in your life that made you believe that? Because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe in me understanding you, I'm able to love you as I was commanded. Period. Love as you are commanded to. Love as you were instructed to love. Right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And so again, just
It's been really good.
Finalizing this, or finishing this conversation up, we're going to have therapists coming on soon. We're going to have pastors, theologians. We're going to have everyday people too. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you have a great testimonial and you'd like to share it on the channel. I'd love to have a live chat with you if you're willing to come on camera and share a testimonial. Maybe we can have like an episode of just nothing but testimonials, things like that, But what the main goal is, familia, the main focus is to focus on love and to focus on God and do it in that way. So let's see, here we go. We got Pastor Chad. Pastor Chad says, taught on Jesus always choosing love first today. Oh, see, he taught on that today. Sorry, I misread that. You're always speaking my language. Man, that should be our language. That's what's written in our hearts, familia. If you look at the letter that's written in your heart to the world, it's a love letter. It's a love letter. If you opened up your heart and pulled out the letter that God wrote to the world in you, it's going to be a love letter. So if we can just finish off with this, let's do this exercise. Take your time. If you could read a little bit about a little bit of the letter that's written in your heart, if you could read your letter to the rest of the people here, what would your letter say? Let me know in the live chat. What would your letter say? What do you think your letter would have? Like just a little sentence or a phrase, or what do you think your letter to the world would say?
Ooh.
Like what are your actions saying to people on behalf of God?
That's a deep question. Not a deep question. Now I'm going to overthink my answer.
Like for me, it's always been that no matter how badly you're treated, see the good in people. And I think I'm here I know that I'm here to share my story and to let people know that they're loved.
I think my love letter would be something along the lines that forgiveness is important in order to fully heal. That's one of mine.
It's good. Forgiveness is important in order to heal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See? So let's see. What else? Jesus never rejects us. Mine would say, don't worry.
Nice.
Excellent. So sometimes it's just simple. You don't have to give details, but like Erika said, forgiveness. So she obviously, in that, she was saying that God put her through some pretty bad situations so that she can learn to forgive in order to heal, and then show the world that it's possible. Kindness always wins in the end. Excellent. Always smile, because you never know what someone is going through. Kill them with kindness. Right? Let's see. God is bigger than me and my problems. And so I will have the capacity to love anyone I meet, no matter who they are and what they've done. Fix your thoughts on what Jesus would do, on what would Jesus do.
Oh, that's a good one, Linda.
I love you even if I don't agree with you. Ooh,
Beautiful.
Yes. I love you even if I don't agree with you. Mine would say, I love you.
Nice. Another good one.
And it came to pass. That's
These
a
are
great
all
one.
Beautiful.
Yeah. See, we can write a letter right here. Forgiveness is not an option. It's a command. That's right. Jesus heals. People always say, I'm too far gone to consider God. You're never too far gone. Ooh, that's right.
Good one.
Never too far gone. Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. Ooh,
lovely.
Love that. Serious. It's like my hide and seek game, right? Like, I think it's a coincidence, but then I go, I see you, God. Like, I honestly,
all the time,
right? We're driving and then something happens and I'm like, I see you, God. I'm gonna give you just an example. This is kind of childish. This is kind of selfish, right? But like, for example, like I've been having my eyes set on a Jeep, like on the Jeep Wrangler, the Rubicon, and I see these Jeeps with like they're just made to hit the dirt or the mud and just be like, and I just picture myself just enjoying taking my girls out to go see the stars and just going in this Jeep and just having a really great time in this Jeep. And every time I see a Jeep, I go, I see you, God. I know you want me to have it, and I know you're just showing me what's to come. So seeing evidence of what's to come and acknowledging God, of what's to come. Mine would say, I can overcome because he has overcome. Ooh, nice. The prodigal son was loved no matter what he did. The father ran to him and hugged him. That's great. That's a great one too. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, we have to see each other the same way God does. Yeah, that's right. I love that. Don't wait to see to believe so you can see. That's great. I am a child of God, Jackie says. That's a great one. I love you even if you don't love me. That's right. That's what Christ did, right? He said, hey, even if you haven't accepted me, even if you don't accept my gift, I still will die for you. I love Michael. Thank you so much. That's a great one. Keeping it simple. Sometimes simple is less is more. Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Forgiveness and love heals your heart. That's a great one. I've read one that says holding on to anger and resentment is like holding on to a hot piece of coal with the intent to throw it at someone. It's you who gets burned, right? Roxana, this would be so cool. Hear different language. Oh, it would be. How can Christ be with you and you be weak? That's right, because he would be your strength, right? Forgiveness is more for you than it is for the other person. That's a great one. How can Christ be with you? Okay, we read that one. Sorry. If you could just keep these to one, post it once. If I miss it, I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not ignoring you, but sometimes I do miss some comments. You're special. You are unique. You are loved. Without you, the symphony would be lost. Without you, the garden would be more bare. That's a great one. Whatever you do, I will still love you no matter what. Love that. Read that one. That coincidence phrase was great. It was, wasn't it? I call the God incidents. I love it. Love it. Yeah, these are such great answers. Familia, thank you so much for sharing your letters. Beautiful. Your letters. And now sometimes those letters turn into actions. And if there's an action that is to be taken by your letter, always speak the truth that's in your heart. Always move with that truth. Let something be the power that moves you forward. Love has moved this channel forward. I would have quit so many times if I would have let the hate that I've received, bring me down. But love propels me forward. Sometimes I use that hate as fuel to move me forward. It fuels the love, and if you comb through some of these comments, you'll see that even if somebody really says something really, really bad, I'll still respond with love. And it's just the way it is, right? It's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. Right.
Always.
Rusty says forgiveness is not letting people off the hook, but rather taking them off your hook and placing them onto God's hook. Ooh,
Rusty, that's a good one.
that's good imagery right there. Incredible. Wonderful. Excellent,
Oh,
familia.
that's good.
Well, we will now leave you to your lives, and we hope that your life was affected by this 1 year that we've been together. Some of you have been together with us for less than a year, but we hope to be able to do this for much, much longer. And we'd like to thank you so much for your love and support, whether it's that you hit the like button, you subscribe, or you've made donations to the channel. It is all appreciated. Either way, like, God will always provide. And
it's been proven, like, God has been providing for not just us, but others that we've spoken to. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch and to be a part of. So yes, from the bottom of my heart, I pray for you guys, familia, every day. You're in my daily prayers. I don't, it's just La Familia, a La Familia prayer that I do every day. And I thank you guys so much because you guys have been so welcoming and loving and respecting of Leonardo and this journey. And it's just made my heart so warm and full. And I get emotional from time to time about it because he's just, he's grown so much and he's helped so many people. People have helped us, and we're just so incredibly grateful. And I thank God every day for this beautiful familia, this global familia.
Yeah, we're grateful for you all. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like the content, please share it with people. Appreciate that very much, specifically the podcast, because this is where the channel is heading. I am still going to do some reaction videos. Obviously, I'm still going to give you all that, but I really do want to be more impactful. I want to move things. I want the Spirit to move through you all in a very positive way and help you all grow. I really don't care what your background is, whether you're a Christian or not. You're welcome to be here. You're welcome to study. We're gonna cover a lot of Christian topics, but when I invite the therapist, it's gonna be more of a mind and emotional thing, and that has nothing to do with religion or spirituality. But it's important to your spiritual health, because if you don't have a sound mind, if your emotions are not in the right place, it makes it harder for you to love people. It makes it harder for you to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul if your mind is disturbed. And so maybe we can answer some questions, and maybe we can get you the help that you need to better understand your pain and your suffering, and then be able to just hand it over to Christ. All right. So, familia, thank you from our family to yours. Archie also appreciates your love and support.
He does.
I know my girls are very appreciative also of the channel.
I know Luna gets all excited the other day. Somebody came by because they found hold on, they found like a dog that was like lost. So they were walking through the neighborhood asking, do you know this dog? Do you know who this dog may belong to? And she's asking us, and as she's asking us, Luna goes, I'm laughing because it was just so cute. She goes, how does she say it?
She goes, this is Leo from YouTube.
Oh yeah, this is Leo from YouTube. And then the girl didn't hear her, I don't think, but it was just hilarious.
And then she repeated it again, but she keeps on telling her family members on her mother's side, like she keeps on saying to them, like, look up Leonardo Torres music. That's my dad.
Yeah, she was so excited. She goes, Erika, because she calls me Erika. Erika, can you show me the video that got like 1 million views? She's like super excited. I go, yeah, I'll show you. And I took her, and she's like, oh, my daddy got 1 million reviews. Reviews? Yeah. I go, yep.
Matt baby, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that so much. Love you guys. Expecting great things. Let him use you. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here for sure. Okay. Maybe next time for sure, because I don't know. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Next time. I owe you all a song. I promise I'll come on. I'll come on and sing another song. But yeah, I'm hungry right now. I'm fixing to go get something.
I can tell.
I'm slowing down.
Yeah.
All right, familia. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. As always, please continue to spread the love that comes from above, and be kind to yourselves and others. Love God, love yourselves, love your neighbor with all.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, so we can not Leonardo, but the mustachio.
Yeah, don't cut me off.
No, please.
Because then what if I leave and mustachio stays here and is doing?
Well, then I'll just put it on me. I will rock mustachio, and I will be you, just with the hat. Oh no, never mind. Maybe not.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh no,
maybe.
Never mind. Who knows? All right, familia. Everybody, countdown.
Okay,
10. You do
9,
the count.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace.
Peace.